Hello, I'm Daniel, and welcome to Fight Director's Canada. Now there's lots of different ways to approach quarterstaff, and I don't want anyone to feel somehow that I'm slighting other people. I just know that I found this one really useful for teaching and an easy way, or easier way, for people to pick up their techniques. Now, we teach quarterstaff here at Rapier Wit alongside single sword and unarmed because it's part of our basic curriculum. And that means that I can lean on all the techniques we teach in sword to help teach staff. And long ago I realized it's useful to retain the same numbering system and the general shape of targets on the body. So let's take a look at this for a sec. I think a good idea would be to review the sword parries that I'm using in staff, just so you can compare, all right? So, just to remind you, parry 1, parry 2, parry 3, parry 4, parry 5, and parry low 5. Now remember, in staff I do turn low 5 into 6. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Between the hands. Really protecting me from here to here. This would be a high one. So 1, between the hands. As I drop and drag across, now 2 is between the hands. 3 is above the hands. Now, often we're looking at striking right here at the shoulder. So rather than keeping the hand here, I will either slide it on the staff or slightly drop the staff, but you'll see the target suddenly can be protected by the wood rather than the hand. As I drop and drag across, that also now gives me 4. Drop to lift between the hands is 5, and this is where I change. We call this one 6. Notice I step back, keeping myself behind the staff, going around knee height, rather than leaning forward or preparing to defend too high. So now, how do we do the pattern to remember? I'm going to invert 3 and 4, just so we can have something to play across, right? So we have 1 between the hands, 2 between the hands, I'm skipping 3, 4 above the hands, back to 3 above the hands, 5, 6. Now, with sword, what's useful to remember is we have advance, retreat, pass forward, pass back, double pass, so on and so forth, pass with a switch. All of that is really useful in staff. And so we simply teach it the same way. The only difference between sword and staff is we find the staff easier to do from a slightly larger stance. Just so you get to see it from different angles. 1, 2, 4, 3, 5, 6. And does this staff make my bum look big? 1, 2, 4, 3, 5, 6. So here's a question. Why am I using this for 1 and 4 and this for 2 and 3? Why not that? Well, I'm a little concerned about my elbow being outside. Even if I'm behind the staff, I feel a little weaker. Now that being said, I don't want to curtail your creativity, so let's use the term orthodox and unorthodox. So this is a really strong, useful parry. We'll call this an orthodox 4. This is an unorthodox 4, and the people who work with me a lot know I absolutely make use of unorthodox parries. However, I also like to say I'll always punish your character for it. So, if you're doing something less than optimal out of desperation or fear or trying to show off as a character, you will then suddenly discover why it's not your optimum parry. When I'm holding my staff this way, I'm in short form, and when I'm holding it this way, I'm in long form. So, I can still do all of the same parries in these different forms. I just need to know where they are at the given time. Often people ask me about hands, where we can put hands. You certainly can fight with both hands pronated or in a boxing grip. You can have one hand supinated, one hand pronated. And that's what I really like when I'm doing spear work and driving that way. The only thing I don't do is this, because this is very strange and feels uncomfortable. Otherwise, I think audiences like to see us manipulate the object and move our hands around and do different things, because again, it tells great stories. It preps an interesting chain of events that lead from one action to another, and they show you being masterful of the object because you're doing things that are connected to your need as a character and taking risk. Sound good? I hope that's helpful so you can start figuring out how the sword and the staff fit together.
Thank you so much for checking out this video. Be sure to check out Daniel over at Rapier Wit with links in the description. Also, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, making sure to hit that bell notification and set it to all so you don't miss any of FDC's weekly content created by the community for you. Thanks for watching.